This character we're gonna talk about today is one that's so forgotten nobody talks about her. I feel like no one knows her. Even people who have seen season 5 do not remember her existing, which is insane. But like Loki, rightfully so, because she's irrelevant. Even though I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to be irrelevant. Which is so sad because she could have been an it girl, but you can just tell the writers didn't give a fuck to do her justice, instead treated her like a tool to make Marinette's backstory quote unquote work, even if it's just 1%. I'm not convinced. This is how I imagine them in the studio coming up with socqueline for Marinette's villain origin story. Hey dude, we need a new character to be Marinette's best friend. Yo, don't we got Alia for that already? No, I mean like one that Marinette looked up to in 8th grade, even though we've never left any open possibilities in the storyline for that to have happened, because we've never mentioned anyone liking Marinette in 8th grade, let alone standing up for. Hey, who cares? They won't notice if we retcon Marinette's entire character. This shit is for kids. Yeah, you right, we should make her look like Marinette too. Oh, so she can never have her own look and personality and stand out as a character and not go hand in hand with Marinette ever? Well, yes. I need another brick of coke. Can you fetch one for me, please? Yes babe, let's do this. This is so funny actually. Like, yeah, we already established Alia did not know Marinette in 8th grade. Everyone has seen the Origins episode, so we can't sneak Alia in the derision flashback. That sucks. Let's make the most uninspired character designed to serve as Marinette's protector in 8th grade, because apparently her own mom can't help with the bullying, so someone has to. And remember, she will only be needed for this particular storyline and nothing else, so we don't care about making her stand out so people will actually remember her. That will shift the focus from our main character. That can't happen under our watch. My name is Thomas Astruc and I smoke crack every hour. I don't know, I think it's stupid. Like, I get why they went with the whole pigtail thing, but maybe let her have at least some features that Marinette doesn't, so people don't just see her as a Marinette knockoff, just like they did Kagami when she was revealed. Like, what's the point of making her look like Marinette down to the hair color? I get she wants to be Ladybug and help people or whatever, but did she need to have that damn shade of blue hair too? The same eye color? Why can't we have an East Asian character with brown eyes? Why is it only Kagami? What's going on? I get genetics and blue is a rare eye color for East Asians and apparently 1% has them in China. Not sure how accurate that is though. Why does everyone in this show have blue eyes? Someone please get them contacts, I'm scared. And if the Marinette knockoff allegations weren't enough already, she is apparently also half white. So the only thing she and Marinette don't have in common is that socqueline doesn't fear the rich and does taekwondo. Anyway, so we all know derision is retcon by now. There's no denying it, no matter how big of a Marinette stan you are. And there's also no denying that her backstory would have been a good idea if it was done properly and not just something the writers pulled out of their ass last minute in season 5 because suddenly they want Marinette to have a villain origin story. Honestly, usually I don't really mind retcon in media too much as long as it's a side character. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, I know a lot of people call Felix's backstory retcon and the whole Senti storyline, but I don't think it is. And if you dive deeper for even a second, there's a lot of evidence surrounding the Senti storyline going as far back as season 1, unlike Marinette's supposed Kim trauma that she didn't have until season 5. But let's not get into that right now. I think they just didn't know exactly how to set up the Senti storyline and went with the flow instead of planning it out from the start, like from the second they introduced Sentis, because the references to Perfect Senti Adrian all the way back from season 1 are way too conveniently placed and delivered to be a coincidence if you ask me. I think they just went fuck it, let's just go all out with the Senti storyline now. I mean, in my eyes it worked out just fine. And that's not even me being biased. If you didn't know, I'm just as much a Felix stan as I am a Marinette stan, which I know is a death wish on MLB Twitter. But like, for your main character, I would expect you to put a bit more care into their backstory and not pull it out of your ass last minute. Season 5? That's ridiculous, sorry. But anyways, our main focus today is socqueline and how overlooked she is because of the writing and design choices they made for her. They set my girl up for failure from the moment they introduced her. Her wasted potential. I mean, that's every character. You're not special, but she could have been a star. Especially her, because she has such a pivotal role in Marinette's development, even if it was, like I said, the writers pulling her out of their asses an afterthought. But I think her role should have been so much bigger given how much she supposedly was there for Marinette and was the only thing keeping her going. Why was she only in 2 episodes? Mind you, she was introduced in Jubilation and people immediately forgot about her because everyone and their moms were talking about the dream sequence, so she was overshadowed. Well, actually she was in Perfection too. Girl, get up. The crumbs we got in that episode were not even enough for a tiny little bird. She had a single second of screen time. I mean, for a miraculous side character this might sound like 50 minutes, I guess. And why is one of her only 2 somewhat major appearances a flashback? She's not even there, physically? Marinette just randomly remembers 8th grade and that happening with socqueline and how she helped her. Speaking of, did Marinette forget why she got them pigtails? Are the miraculous secret trading cards lying? Is that non-canon now? That she got the pigtails to commemorate her heroic deeds because she looks up to her? Like, don't piss me off, baby. How did you forget your roots so easily? Because if you think about it, those are her roots. Her iconic pigtails such a big part of her default look that everyone knows her for have a whole backstory behind them, but for some reason no one gives a fuck. Probably because the writers don't give a fuck to confirm it, because they don't give a fuck about Socqueline. This girl is the reason Marinette is who she is today, don't forget. And I really don't fuck with all these people calling her a knockoff Marinette, because you tell the writers did their best to make sure you look at her as a knockoff Marinette by giving her this design. Girl, can you stop with the blue hair? Ain't that supposed to be one of the rarest colors ever? Why does every Asian girl in Miraculous have it? I don't get it. Are they all dyeing it? A little bit of edge for the Teen Vogue party? Like the least they could have done to set Socqueline apart design-wise is the hair color. The outfit? This girl is supposed to be a rebel and outcast, a voice who speaks the fuck up. Let her look like it, OMG. She should have loud-ass hair, loud-ass unapologetic outfit, patches saying eat the rich and punk's not dead. That's who she should have been. For those of you who still don't know anything about Socqueline and don't want to bother watching her 2 episodes, here are some facts about her or whatever. Socqueline Wang is a Chinese-French girl who lives in Paris with her mom, works at this art supply store, is an ace at the Olympics or something. She's an athlete girl, yes. She loves helping people very much like how Sabrina keeps saying she loves helping people, but Miss Socqueline does it right. Well, most of the time. Her intentions are always good though. That's why you see her trying to pass as Ladybug in Jubilation. She's also an Adrien fanboy. I never understood why. Like that whole scene of Marinette saying she's friends with him and spilling his deepest personal secrets that he has specifically revealed to her and her only is crazy. Socqueline the fuck the system and fuck oppressors girly should have been a girl kisser. Maybe she is and doesn't know it yet. The better Zoe. She is who Zoe wishes she was, to be honest. Does the superhero thing without a Miraculous better than Zoe does it with a Miraculous. But what can you expect from a dozen? Ijbal. At least Socqueline has some sort of depth and actual importance, even if it still has to do with Marinette just like Zoe. But that's the only thing they got in common. Help. But then again, every single character's life revolves around Marinette one way or another. It's just how it is. Like, name a single character whose story doesn't deeply involve Marinette, even if it has nothing to do with her. Cough, the Agresti family. Sure, Zoe can stand up to Chloe now, but can she beat a bitch up? Didn't think so. She can cry on command though, that's cool I guess. Back to Socqueline being the better nice girl who's not 100% stale. She's targeted by this bitch ass principal only because she stands up for what's right. Yeah, let's talk about it. My girl is just a cutie patootie. She just wants world peace, that is her whole thing. Greta Thunberg's ender. She wants world peace and she is that bitch. She wanted to help people out as Ladybug, which you know is kinda identity theft, but her heart was in the right place, so who gives a fuck? Identify theft aside, I really feel like the writer should have fleshed her out more to make it look like they at least give the slightest shit about her, even just pretend. But what the fuck am I talking about? We already got that out of the way. She did not exist before season 5, so I'm yapping about nothing. They were just like, yeah sure, this is where Marinette came from. They just needed a new character to be the reason for her quote-unquote catharsis in derision, her Retcon episode. Ijbal, never mind the trauma coming back to her and her getting over it in the span of 5 minutes. Tommy does not know how trauma works, I'm afraid. Or maybe he just wanted to set this girl up for no reason. You could have just had a messy ass bitch who is obsessed with this dude for the fun of it, and I would respect it so much more than a half-assed traumatic backstory that doesn't line up with anything you've told us so far, other than Chloe bullying her, which was obviously the base for this whole thing. Like, getting over trauma is really not that simple, and they should have really thought out Marinette's character arc, because for 5 whole seasons she was static. She was basically nothing, just a cute little doll stuck in limbo. She was getting no development, and suddenly you show me this and introduce me to this new girl who none of us, including you, have never seen before, because she was not there and we all know it. And that's why nobody cares about her now, but I low-key do care about her because I do think that this would be a cool storyline. Like I said, a traumatic backstory for Marinette is not a bad idea as long as that was the intention from the start, which it clearly wasn't. Why did you do your main character so dirty? And you didn't just do Marinette dirty in that episode, you did everyone dirty. Socqueline could have been everything. She could have been the it girl of Miraculous. I'll say it again. One thing about Socqueline, she will beat a bitch up. And she has. And she will. That little girl knows her martial arts, okay? Like I said, she's a bad bitch. Trendsetter even. And she's not afraid to beat a bitch up like okay Maddie from Euphoria. That is what we need in the show, a bad bitch who knows who the fuck she is and what she stands for and who beats bitches up. Bitches like Chloe because they need their ass beat, I'm sorry. Like someone needs to put her in her place and did. It was low-key so satisfying to see Chloe get her ass whooped for real. As much as I didn't want to rant about derision yet another time, I feel like I just have to, because we could have had a character like Socqueline in the show. She could have been a breath of fresh air. Like I said, a bad bitch who beats bitches up no mercy. Who stands up for what's good. What she believes in, that is what we need. Ho. The one character who could be a good example for any kid. But at the end of the day, she is known as a Marinette knockoff who everyone forgets about because that's how she was written to be. A forgotten, forgettable character with nothing to really set her apart. The designers did not even try to make her stand out in any way, and obviously her design plays a big role in that and who she is. Again, I understand the symbolism with the pigtails, whatever, that's cute, but that wasn't even stated in the show. It was in those trading cards, and we don't even know if that's canon because there were a lot of things said in those trading cards that sound fake as hell. So much of the credit for Marinette starting to stand up for herself. That whole switch goes to Alia, when in reality Socqueline was the first and only person canonically who Marinette witnessed standing up against Chloe. who advised her and was building up her confidence even if she didn't agree with Marinette's decisions. Socqueline started the clo revolution for real. The only one in that school who had a backbone and some sense. Wasn't afraid to put her in her place and really said fuck the rich, and somehow she never got her flowers for that. And not only that, she was mistreated as fuck in that school too. We've talked about this before. The fact that she was so mistreated, like the fuck you mean she went to the principal's office and got suspended days before the end of the damn school year for checks notes. Standing up against a bully? That's insanity. That is sickening. Like, give her her flowers. She needs recognition and justice because she is a trendsetter and started the end close shit movement all by herself when nobody else had the balls to. Justice for Socqueline, bitch, she needs it. Justice for Socqueline, not just for getting expelled for no fucking reason. Being forgotten and never given her flowers in general. She could have been so much more than she is. The reason Marinette was able to stand up to Chloe in the first place, according to derision, was Socqueline, whether you like it or not. She was Alia before Alia existed, or that's what she show wants us to think, because obviously, like we've established a million times in this video already, she is Retcon. She is a Retcon character exclusively and knowing miraculous. That's what she will always be. As much as I do want them to give her her own identity detached from Marinette and give her the development she deserves. The development she needs for people to actually remember her name. But the way I love how it was never explained how her and Marinette simply fell apart after 8th grade or 9th grade for Socqueline because she's in high school now or whatever. Like what happened? Retcon is what happened. Socqueline wasn't there in 8th grade. She might as well be a part of Marinette's imagination. My bitch wasn't there before, which is why they can't explain them falling apart after Socqueline's Sigma move and taking one for the team, so they just went with the classic I was busy to get that out of the way, but y'all not even that grown to be using that excuse. Like you were busy in the summer before you became Ladybug? Too busy to talk to your bitch beater best friend who saved you ass more times than you can remember? I don't think so, baby. How did they just break off after Socqueline's little speech in the flashback like they never knew each other? If that was me and my friend got suspended days before the end of the school year for standing up against my bully, that school would be nothing but ashes. Ho, I'm serious. It would be so over for every sheep ass bitch in that shit show of a school with my druggy ass principal role playing as an owl superhero, acting like it's a side job, just having that cheap ass mask on hand everywhere he goes. Bitch, if you wanna be a superhero for the kids, start by getting a backbone and not putting money over your students' mental health. Maybe I should dedicate a whole video bashing him because I'm pretty sure nobody else really has. I mean, I did make a video last year bashing everyone in that school, go watch that I guess. But I have so much to say about this principal, so maybe I will shit on him again in a separate video. Anyways, I know that they'll never make her an actual character with an actual arc of her own that doesn't have to do with Marinette. I don't respect that, but I know that's hell ever be. Just a Marinette for Marinette's arc that you can barely call an arc. This actually confuses me though, like Socqueline is supposed to be the OG, right? She's supposed to be referencing PV Marinette, or I'm assuming that's what they were going for with the pigtails. She was introduced and people's first thought was PV Marinette. I think that says enough. Referencing the original is a callback, but being labeled a copycat at the end is crazy. I bet they expected us to sob at PV Marinette in the same current Marinette outfit and ugly ass pink jeans inspiring Marinette herself, but nobody moved. This really sucks. I want her to be that bitch because deep down she is meant to be that bitch, but she's not. I don't want to keep repeating myself, so that's all for today. Justice for Socqueline.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. What have I done? I'm so sorry.
I can't feel my kid.
Crap! The tigers seem like to be, guys. I have bad nerves. I'm so sorry. Feel better, okay?